All right, welcome to Freshwater Frequency. Great Lakes Music Collective podcast is actually the name we decided to name it. We are with some fantastic guests. I've seen them perform live. I listen to their music. They make some great music together. We got rapper AllTheHipe and producer Astral Housefly here as guests today, and we're gonna get right into it.
Hell yeah, thanks for having us.
Amazing.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, for sure.
We got AllTheHipe and Astral Housefly. I just said your name, but say it again and describe your guys' sound.
Yeah, I'm AllTheHipe, and then Astral Housefly's to my right. He does the producing, he does the DJing, I do the rapping. We do all things creatively, we do together. We have like kind of like an alternative hip-hop style. I mean, we get experimental like in any way we can. We do a lot of sample-based stuff.
Yeah, I'm Astral Housefly, the producer, and essentially I try to do a bunch of experimental stuff, and AllTheHipe here reels it in typically. I think we like have a big like DIY spirit about us.
I would definitely agree with that for sure.
Appreciate it. Yeah, I grew up with some kids that were like in the hardcore scene. I really always admired that DIY spirit, and I've been trying to apply that to kind of our alternative hip hop thing.
Definitely agree. That's something special about that DIY scene. Everything from the rock to the rap. It's the DIY stuff is literally different than all the super produced major stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I think it just shows what's possible. You know what I mean? Like not everything is like, you know, like, I mean, we just go to Facebook Marketplace, get TVs, stack them up. We, you know what I mean? Like just, we don't go to fancy studios. We're in this dude's attic. Like it's just like you can really like, you can do this shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't take all the frills that people think it does. Like this is all very possible and at everyone's fingertips, you know?
I mean, that's literally what me and him preach all the time. It's just like, it's just do it. It's like the Nike slogan. It's not just do it for no reason. It's literally like if you have something, a passion and goal, just start at it. It's as simple as starting as at the very smallest stuff. Do stuff you know you're going to be bad at. Do it more, you'll get better at it. You just start by doing it. It's something we preach all the time.
Yeah, babies suck at walking, man. You know, they crawl first.
That's exactly.
And then they waddle.
Exactly. How did you guys meet?
Well, so we went to high school together, and this dude hated me. I guess I don't remember. I guess it was like lunchtime or something. I was talking shit for some reason. He did not like me at all.
Happens.
And then, yeah, and then we met again. We worked at a Verizon store later on in life, and he saw a little MIDI keyboard in the back of my car and was like, "Oh, you make music?" I'm like, "I'm trying, you know." Like, we still didn't make music. And then like a few years after that, he released a beat tape. I heard it and I was like, you know, I was getting back into like really, I was making music like on my own, like with some friends and stuff, but then I was getting back into it and I heard his shit, and then we
just hit it off from there, texted him, and you started
like
working.
Almost 7 years ago, you know.
Your first song released was actually you were on someone else's song, and it was in 2018, I believe. Am I correct with that?
Yeah. Yeah, that was No Evil.
Yeah, that was the title of the song.
Yeah, No Evil.
How did you guys, when that was your first song, what was that like? Even getting in the booth for the first time, or writing something first time, or really like, just having a vision for a project?
It was, I never produced for anyone before. I like had a singer over one time, but yeah, it was just a lot of trial and error. I think that song took like 3 months, which is kind of long now that we've done it for 7 years, but I didn't know how to mix. I didn't know how to record vocals. I didn't know
how to really perform. Like for a song, like you know, I could do a cypher type thing, but like I've never done 5-6 takes in a row trying to get that right
that
one.
Perfect one.
You got mad at me.
Yeah, I get pissed because it's like I just feel like, and I'm like, what do you feel like? You fucking do it, you know? Like now I'm like fucking all right. Yeah. One more, like, because you got like, but yeah, we were just throwing shit at the wall, looking for something to stick. I think that was like one of 3 or 4 songs that we were working on at the time, and I guess it just felt like the most complete. From was it Trell on that one? No Evil, right?
Yeah, it was Trell on that one. Yeah.
So yeah, it was just trial and error, man. We had no idea what. I mean, we knew a little bit what we were doing, but it's intimidating. No, really, that's your first song is like scary, you know. Like
I had how would I put it? It was a rap phase, but I wasn't taking it seriously. I was kind of just coming up with some dumb, what was it, middle school bars. I think I was in middle school, and it was some crazy stuff. And I remember putting out my first song, and just being like heart racing when I press the upload button. What was the process like going from you guys' first song, the feature with Trell, all the way to your first album? I was looking and it said that your first album was released in 2022. So what was it like making music from 2018 to 2022?
Yeah, it was like a lot of honing in what we were. I think there's like there's a bit of like exploration into like, well, what aesthetic or sound we're trying to put out there. I think we've done a pretty decent job. I feel like at this point we've been able to, like, people will see a video and they'll know before even reading who posted it that, like, okay, this is probably something that we released, which is cool, and objective success there. But the process was, I mean, trial and error, I would say.
Yeah.
Like,
was that like your guys' process of brand building, like creating a brand, something that when someone sees something, it immediately reminds them of you guys, kind of situation?
I don't think it's like branding, at least the way we called it. I think it's more like,
Branding
how can we not be
corporate,
corny like a lot of folks are?
And just be the same, like you want to fit in, but you don't want to fit in. You know what I mean? Like you want people who like this, that, and the third to like what you're doing, but not because it's the exact same thing as this, that, and the
Exactly.
third.
We were talking to Jenna last week about that same thing. Is that one of the main things one of the main risks we're scared to take as like a company, as like a public figure, is the idea of genuinity. Because like you were saying, people want to fit in, artists and people want to fit into the crowd, and you want people to like you for what you do, and you don't, like, it's just scary being able to be yourself and just go out there, and like if people don't like your content, you say fuck it, you got a million other people who love and enjoy your stuff.
Yeah, and it's just, I mean, you have to respect it first before anything.
Exactly.
And like, you could be scared of like being different or just like going totally into left field with something, but like, I like that. I like when I see someone trying something different, so it's hard at this point. I think we've learned that, like, I mean, sometimes reel it in. Like, we're not let's not lose our minds.
You're not gonna
here.
start making screamo music now. Come on.
Yeah. That's why my voice is gone right now. It's 'cause we're trying to record.
Yeah, guys, he's not
metal
sick.
track.
Don't worry. He was actually screaming in the booth 5 minutes before he came.
I was doing a Slipknot cover and blew a couple vocal cords.
In that time of honing in your sound and finding who you guys want to be, what were your guys' biggest influences in that area?
That's tough. I feel like me and him have totally different influences that we have to like convince the other in a way.
I think that's how we are.
Literally.
Because he goes. Housefly goes pretty deep into some things that like I can't get into that. I'm sorry, like.
No, for sure.
I come from real like traditional hip hop roots as far as like my taste, like New York hip hop, like
Oh yeah.
Wu-Tang, Biggie, G-Unit, like stuff like that, so.
I'm probably more of the Death Grips and JPEG Mafia kind of realm. I love boom bap and stuff too, but I just like when lo-fi hip hop came out, I was really excited. I'm like, oh, this is my chance to kind of break into that. That's kind of what my first tape that he heard. Then it became so oversaturated of just like jazz samples with the most loud snare in the world.
Literally.
And it's just boring.
It's to study, fall asleep, and
and you had that one lo-fi stream that had the girl studying, and it was running 24/7, just lo-fi beat after lo-fi beat.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, this is kind of lame now. Like, it's like you
after
like,
so many years.
And you could just get lost in that, like, you know what I mean? Just like you could just be one of a million people making lo-fi rap songs. You know?
Literally.
It makes it sound like it's like a royalty-free catalog.
Yeah. It's really cool hearing your guys' influences because you really see like what you guys grabbed from those different influences and where you guys took those different avenues. For one, your guys' style of music, it's a very interesting mix between like, not to compare, but like a Joey Badass beat with the feelings of a Mac Miller, if that makes sense. It's common in a way, but it's not common the way you guys do it and the way you guys provide your content and stuff, all the way down to the content even. Like you said, when you click on one of your videos, you can instantly tell it's one of your guys' videos.
Yeah, it'll be like some grainy camcorder footage in the dark. And,
walking down like Clifton Avenue or something.
Yeah, exactly. You're like so on the nose right there.
I recognize the street.
And I think our goal is to like, we want to push it to the next level. You know what I mean? We don't want to just get comfortable in one thing. Like, you know, we were talking about our last album, Shortwave. Pretty experimental. Like, he had the idea of doing like these shortwave radio frequencies and making it like that. And we're like, well, how can we build off that, not do the same thing, but like, you know, give a similar vibe, but like push it a little more. You know?
Yeah. Would you guys consider those albums you made concept albums? Or would they just be like projects?
Sonically, I think sonically it's conceptual, but I
don't think there was an explicit story, but I think
reoccurring themes of
and
just
it blends.
reception, trying to be
reception,
received, how we're being received, if we're even being received, like our you know, like screaming out into the void.
I agree.
Type thing.
I was recording a liner this morning for the radio station we do. And I was talking about your guys' music, and it was, what did I say? I said, you have this aesthetic to you. That's what I was looking for. You have this aesthetic to you, and instead of switching up the aesthetic every week or every video, you just build onto that same aesthetic. And that's something it's pretty rare you see nowadays, if someone finds an aesthetic they like and continue that, instead of you guys doing informational videos one day and then switching up the content, have a really colorful video one day. You guys have a niche, and I think that's people definitely go more for niches than something that's for everyone.
Yeah, I feel like trend hopping sucks. You know, it's just like, what am I gonna fucking meal prep for you next week? You know, like, I just can't, man. Like, I just like, I don't, you know, like, and it's like man versus algorithm. Like, we're supposed to like post every week. I'm not doing. We're trying to do something this week or the next month. Like, I don't have time to, you know, tell you my morning routine and like I'm like splashing like sparkling water on my face and like, you know, it's just like going at our pace and making what we do meaningful, as opposed to just forcing something to get people interested.
Yeah,
100%. As Ben was talking about, you guys do such like a unique thing with how you sound, and I'll say personally, growing up, I listened to hip hop and rap and music like that. But as I got older, I was kind of pulled away more towards like heavier music, kind of like emo genres, like the emo scene. And I don't mean to hype you guys up for no reason, but when Ben went to Bright Winter, he saw you guys there and he introduced me to your music. And
it wasn't Bright Winter. It was the Grog Shop, I think it was.
There you go.
Weekend.
Yeah, at the Grog Shop, and he was like, "Yo, I met this artist and producer." And he showed me you guys, and I can't lie, you guys pulled me back into hip-hop.
Hell yeah.
Like, your guys' content, your guys' music and sound. I tell Ben every week, like, for the past 3 weeks, I've been waiting to get your guys' music. I've been waiting to talk to you guys. I've been waiting to meet you, because, like, I've never had a solo, like, a duo or, like, a group like you guys pull me back into a genre. And I think that's one thing that you guys should be extremely proud of, is that you guys have the ability to sway an audience. And personally, I feel the meaning when I listen to your guys' music.
Yeah, thank you,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, like, we like to be bold. Like, there's no room for tiptoeing. Like, we have, you know, if you have something to say, I mean, you know, say it. You know, like, even outside of music, like, that's just something I've learned is, like, you know, what, like, people around me, whether it's people around me who say exactly how they feel, and I'm almost like, shit.
Right.
Or you're around people who you could tell they're just not saying what they want to say, like being passive aggressive, you know, and it's just like, you know, you can learn from people both ways. Like, this dude's stubborn. I'm pretty stubborn. This dude is stubborn.
It's true.
And it pisses me off sometimes, but I've also really learned from it that, like, you know, like just get across your thing. Like if you feel a certain way, like you know, you might even change your mind 5 minutes later. But if you're feeling that strongly about it, like then let's get it out.
I agree.
And you don't have to be like completely brash and a total asshole about it.
Right.
But like I mean, he is a total asshole.
There it
I
is.
can say the same thing about this guy.
So
But
I
it's
tell
like,
you what.
but it's like if we're gonna get points across, let's get points across.
Right.
Let's dive into it. You know what I mean? Like
I think we could definitely understand though, especially with you guys being a duo and us being a duo, we definitely have our moments where we are dead set on an idea. And I'll say, these past couple weeks, there's been things that I've pitched to Ben where I've been like, Ben, we have to do this. This is such a good idea. And then I'll text Ben like an hour later. I'm like,
Let's not do that.
that was such a dumb idea. And like there's like he's our big media guy. I give him everything. He comes to me, and there's stuff that like we'll go back and forth on for like days on whether or not to post it, and it'll just keep like there's things that we always talk about and go back and forth with. So
yeah.
Something we've been really lucky to do is like those conversations never get heated. It's always like, yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Like that would definitely be a cool avenue, but then we're sacrificing this, but then this would be a great avenue as well, kind of situation. We always handle those conversations well.
I think that's great, but you also have to add a little bit of shit talking.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I tell you, oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like you know, you do it playfully, but you also just get a little bit out. There's a little truth in the jokes, right?
Yeah.
I think like also just we were talking about like the algorithm, like and trying to be unique. I think it's really frustrating how we have these media monopolies like Meta and X or Twitter, whatever, that or TikTok is the best example, where it's the algorithm is the one feeding you the content. You aren't the one actively seeking it out.
You're not choosing; it's chosen for you.
But then also, it's incentivized to make sure that your content is safe and as culturally homogenous as possible. So like, I don't want to shoot vertically, like it aesthetically, like even just like trying to make the shot make sense horizontal or vertically is difficult. And when we post,
rule of thirds.
No,
You're like,
yeah.
man.
yeah, I mean there are, but it's just late. I don't know. But like, so we'll shoot horizontally, and not to say like, oh, what was us like. Instagram or Zuckerberg isn't giving us the like views. It has nothing to do with that. But we've seen it where we've done like A/B tests where if you shoot horizontally, you do not get nearly the exposure. And it's like stupid rules like that I think are very limiting, and where we've been like we tried. I have some experience in marketing, and like we tried like taking that mindset to it, and it's just exhausting.
Yeah,
and it limits your creativity.
Yeah, it's not what we want to do. Like we want to do what we do, and like, I mean, you think David Lynch is doing filming on an iPhone? Are you out of your mind? Like,
No,
you know,
for real.
not to compare us to that, but it's just like, you know, like
No, I agree.
all of everyone's favorite stuff is not shot by like, you know, vertical style. Like it's you know, so it's like. Eventually, like sometimes you just have to figure out what am I willing to sacrifice.
Yeah, no, there's multiple avenues you can go down for. I guess what we would be talking about is success. Like there's a couple different avenues you could take. There's a traditional route, which is word of mouth, just showing people, providing something that is undeniable. That's one way to get people to see you. If you're undeniable, then
The
you'll get
best
passed
way.
around. Yes, the best way.
Yeah.
And then there's like the newer way, which is all that marketing and social media stuff. And then there's
Hey
like
guys.
yeah. There's
Hey gang,
radio.
we're back with another. Another.
No, for real. And then there's radio, but really, you can look at hundreds of different artists, and what you'll find is the people that are genuine and take their time and get people to actually be fans rather than viewers. They always grow with so much more influence than someone else.
I like
than
that. Yeah.
tries to do something for virality.
Fans versus viewers is a really cool way to look at it. Like, and there's so many ways to gain fans, and it seems like
Real.
there's a few ways to gain viewers, and you have to follow a set of rules that have been set in place for a few. But like a viewer is nothing to a fan.
No, for real. No, for real.
I think avenues like college radio, for example, is where you like I'm a consumer of college radio, and I love like the off-kilter stuff you would never find either
Exactly.
from Spotify or Instagram. Like having those avenues that you kind of find these semi-organically, even though you could argue TikTok is feeding you something and so is radio, but like it's different because the rules are different. Having a local scene, I think, is going to become more important as we get more separate and like individualized with social media. We need these local communities to support each other.
100%. That's like our big thing is, I don't know if it was mentioned in the last episode, I can't remember if I said it or not, but I'm back from Sandusky. So coming up here, I have to drive an hour. So I'm like 10 minutes from Lake Erie. And there's a completely different music scene an hour away where I live compared to here. And it's like so cool being able to find all the different groups and different niches inside of like example Sandusky and Cleveland. Like there's so many different sounds I've heard in Cleveland than being back home in Sandusky, and that's one thing
And then even like the Lorraine.
I was just about to say the Akron area has some different sounds.
Yeah, and there's Akron, like there's people who are dope from Akron, or there's like West Side Lows from Lorraine, and like there's just there's so much going on at all times. It is tough to like hear it all, like you know what I mean, like you mentioned. And I thank you so much. You mentioned me in episode 1, your last episode that just dropped, and I was very happy. I appreciate that again.
Of course.
I was fucking at work listening to it, and you're like, he gives a Mac Miller vibe. I'm like, he's gonna mention me. He has to. I'm like, it's gotta be about me.
No, for real.
And I was really. But you're like, this guy's in my city, and I just found him. You know, and it's just like,
that's what I was. That's exactly.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's crazy. Like, yeah, like I mean. We're about to do, well, I mean, we could mention it later too, but we're about to do a show with this dude Mondo Slade. We got him in for this Crowbar show, and like, this dude's been doing his thing, and like we just found out about him like this summer, you know, like.
That was me with Mad Star. I listened to a couple. Oh my God!
Mad Star's so good.
He's
on that show too. And if you like those, if you like, we also have Q to Juice on this show at Crowbar, who's also a fucking dog.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's gonna
April 18th, right?
April 18th at Crowbar. Yeah.
April 18th at Crowbar. I mean,
you guys really should. It's gonna be some rap shit, and that's like my favorite type of show, man. And just like good.
The good, like the really, really good sanctioned artists in our area. I don't think sanctioned's the right word, but.
but it's gonna be sick. Yeah, like Matt Starr's the fucking man. Like we have a song with him, and
Mad Stars.
It's Blum Brandy. Yeah.
Speaking of your April 18th show at the Crowbar, our next question that we have lined up is when and where was your first performance? Was it here in
First
Cleveland?
ever. On time on stage.
Touch
Supper Club. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore. Ohio City Touch Supper Club, their basement.
Well, you guys did a basement show for your first one.
Yeah, but you know it's a nice basement. It has a bar.
Hey.
Oh.
That show I barely remember. Not to get too fucking weird about it, but I was just in that moment I was having a lot of anxiety and like panic attacks and shit. And I was literally like shitting my pants before we were about to go
Your
on.
first
My first performance, like I had a performance years before, but it was like with this group I was with. So I was like 1 or 2 songs out of like, and it was at the Agora like before, like 3 hours before the actual guy went on the main stage, and we're on this. It was just didn't mean shit, to be honest, but
still you got up there.
But it actually helps me realize like this is what I really want to do, because I was losing my shit. I was like pulling at my skin, anxious, and the minute our set started, I got on for that first song. It was 25 minutes of just, I had no other thought in the world. I was just performing. I felt so good. And then it ended. I got my handshakes, dabs. That was great, blah, 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 smiles.
Coming down
laughs.
from that adrenaline.
And then I like sat down in a booth and I was just like, I have to go the fuck home. I can't handle this right now. I want to go home so bad. But that was our first one. That was with
One Bad Man and
One Bad Man, who's like my childhood friend. We still are making music with him.
Was it Nothing Major?
Nothing Major. I think it was just us three.
Heck yeah.
I don't remember if it was that one or a different Touch show, but we, at the time I used a work laptop to perform.
Mm-hmm.
One time my IT guy came to one of our shows. He's like, "Interesting laptop you're using up there." And I was like, "Shh," but
You gotta
some
do what you gotta do.
Don't be a nerd about it, man. Come on.
something happened where I couldn't get the project to work on my laptop, so I brought my entire tower desktop that I built to perform that night.
I think it was that first show.
Yeah, that was.
He brought his whole
That's
desktop
funny.
computer to the show.
The show must go on. The show must go on.
Exactly.
You gotta do what you gotta
No,
do.
it was only like 10, 15 minutes away, so he's like, I gotta just go grab my computer. Like, he literally just had like a fucking mouse and everything. It was incredible.
That is hilarious.
And
What,
I think that's our next step. We bring the TVs, but also like a full desktop computer. I don't think
No,
our
for real.
setup is like intricate enough. I think we need more heavy shit.
I just saw this video today. It was this big club. It was some EDM or drum and bass artists, and they had a row of old Manila computers, and they were playing Unreal Tournament on it during the concert. So there was people in a LAN party.
We were at the matinee a couple weeks ago, and they had a bunch of TVs on around the venue. And one of them was a Mario game on Sega or something, so this is a Nintendo, Super Old Nintendo. And then on literally on the stage, right above the artist, someone was playing Fortnite. Or while they're performing, and it messed up all the footage.
Dude, a
But-
good battle royale during the show, though.
No, it was fire. It was definitely different.
Yeah, we got, you got Toby Raps. You guys know Toby Raps?
Yes, yeah, I talked to Toby Raps. I definitely want to work with him, do something fun with him.
He'll freestyle or rap while solving a Rubik's Cube. I think the next step is
yeah.
getting a Fortnite win
Yeah,
while freestyling.
Uh-huh.
That'd have to be at least a 10-minute freestyle.
No, for real. Speaking of the Toby Raps and all these other local artists, are there any shout-outs you want to give? Any artists you want to talk about? Give some light to.
We have our last song dropped was with James Begin, Punxsutawney Phil.
So is James Begin doing his own thing outside of Tropidelic with his rap stuff?
Yeah, he has a separate so.
That's what I was getting.
Yeah,
but I wasn't,
so he had
sure.
Cicero with some friends, but that kind of fell off, and for one reason or the other, and then so he has his Trop shit where they're touring and doing their
Tropidelic's
thing.
going crazy right now.
Yeah, Trop's been doing their thing, and we performed Everwild, and Trop will bring me up at Nelson's or Everwild, or I'm they'll bring me up for a verse and shit.
Heck yeah.
I owe a
Heck
lot
yeah.
to James. He'll disagree that I owe him anything, but
He was one of the artists that really helped you guys.
he
lend that a
really
hand
pushed
for
us
sure.
forward, man. That all started with Krista Cola. So Krista Cola is a producer. He's also one of the owners of Signal Flow Studios.
I think I've heard of that, yeah.
Yeah, so I friend of a friend just knew I made music. They have nothing to do with music. They're like, oh, my friend, my sister's boyfriend or my sister's friend's boyfriend introduced me, whatever. She's like, so I looked him up. I'm like, let me just give the dude a shot. And we had 1 or 2 sessions, and then I met everybody I know now.
That's how it's been the last couple of weeks. Is we're going to shows every weekend, 2 or 3 shows, 1 to 3 shows every weekend, just trying to get into the music scene,
Get acclimated.
Yes, get acclimated, network, make a lot of good friends. And every show I go to, I meet 10 different people, and they're all the Cleveland scene is so damn supportive, so supportive. I met.
Nice. Too.
Yeah, it's literally so nice. I met James Begin. I didn't even know James Begin was James Begin. I haven't seen his face. I just heard the name James Begin, and I was talking to him backstage. I was just telling him what we do, and he was just like, "Dude, that's so cool. Let's talk, let's work, let's do something together." And then I was talking to my friend. I was like, "Yeah, I was just talking to that guy." And he was like, "That's James." And I was like, "That's James Begin?"
Yes.
Yeah, the nicest guy I've ever met.
for sure.
He's great, man. He's he does what he can. His whole thing is it takes a village.
Literally.
He's it would be one thing if he said that and didn't back it up, but the dude backs it up. He really helps people out. Like I said, I met Chris, and then I met Toby, then I met James, and they all just believed in us, and saw what we were trying to do, and then really heard you know, and obviously like the shit. So
No, for real.
and we've gotten opportunities from that, you know, and like, and then we also like Mad Star. He does a great fucking job, and like we try to keep our homies in the mix. Like One Bad Man has an album that's about to come out that's so goddamn good.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna personally make sure people hear that shit.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't even heard of One Bad Man.
Yeah, it's just, you know, hidden gem. You know what I mean?
One of those hidden
Like,
gems. Like I was doing a lot of research in the Cleveland rap scene. I didn't see you guys, and I went to that James Begin show. And you were right there. It was like, damn, one of those hidden gems. Exactly like Mad Star. I was looking and looking and looking. I stopped looking. Mad Star came across my ears, and I was like, damn, what the?
It's one of the downsides of like just sitting in your pocket and just like doing what you do is like, yeah, you might not. It might just take one single moment for someone to reach you, and if they miss it, then they miss it, and it is what it is. But
Well, the way
we're trying
you
to
guys
be
are doing
more
it.
reachable.
Yeah.
Is that a fucking thing?
Sure.
In reach, we're trying to be more in reach, but like at the end of the day, like we were talking about before, like we're not gonna feed into stuff just to get some eyeballs. Like,
No, for sure.
We have to stick to what we're
As
doing.
long as you're genuine, you provide quality, and you promise, provide, repeat, then the people that are watching you will share with the people around them. You don't even have to do any marketing. If it's
Right.
that good, and you promise, provide, and repeat, then
Right,
the people will take account of it and be like, wow, this is really cool. I found you guys. I didn't promise me that you guys were going to be good, but then you provided that you guys were going to be good, and then I showed him.
We definitely provide.
Yes. Oh yeah.
No promises. And we repeat. And honestly, repeat I think is the most important part of
No,
that.
for sure. Because you could promise and provide, but then they'll forget about you.
I mean, I'll have people tell me like, this is the part where most people give up, you know?
Literally.
Like, bro, I'm gonna be 40 trying. I don't know what the fuck to do.
I used to, when I was in my early 20s, I would like cringe at cover bands like that were, 60-year-old men. Now I'm like, good for them. Like it changed.
They care, but they also care.
It was also just the whole like longevity of like doing it for that many years regardless.
There's this band called Another Dead Rock Star. It's a Cleveland band. They're like men that are in their older ages of years. That's a horrible way to say
That sounded like a politically correct way of saying it. They're in their older ages of years.
These guys, yeah.
They're older years.
They're youthfully disabled.
No, they're some older men, but they recently, within the last couple years, started releasing music. And it was just like
original music?
Yeah, like good original music. And it's a rock band. It's called Another Dead Rock Star. So just look at them.
I like the name.
Yeah, their music structure is a little bit newer, but they sound so old. They sound like something your 90s dad would listen to.
like
Dad in the
grungy
90s.
or
yeah, like grungy kind of. I don't have any good descriptions. But you just have to listen to it.
Yeah,
you just have to. It's good.
90s.
It's real good. Yeah.
I think a good example is this artist named Prophet. He got signed by Stone's Throw.
Is he bald?
No.
No, not
not Prof.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of Prof. That's what I was thinking of.
Prof is cool too.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
doing
He's
his
really
thing.
Yeah. But Prophet, he got signed in his like 50s or like early 60s. He was doing like funk music in like the 80s, never popped off, and then like. So I'm like, that's just a great example of like, never give up. You never know.
No, we're waiting until we're like 36, 37. Then we're gonna start doing vaporwave.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna, we're just gonna
start getting into the
play
funk
the
guitar.
field. Just figure it out. We already got vaporwave songs made that we're not. That I guess we'll never release. I don't know. Fuck.
We'll see.
Never
One
say
day.
never, right?
Every time we go to release them, we're like, but we got some fucking rap shit that we gotta get off. So.
No, for real. Speaking of, do you guys have anything you're working on now? Plan on coming out with in the future?
Oh, yeah. We have a song dropping April 18th on the day of the Crowbar show.
Okay.
We have a song called Reachin'. We performed it at the James show at Grog Shop.
I'm not sure which was that I got a video for you, and I don't remember hearing any of the songs that are on your discography on the video. I think that the video that I sent you was of that song. Maybe.
There's probably a few of those that like we're releasing. Like we kind of like like around fall, like November, we kind of took like end of November through the end of the through December, we kind of were just like, hey, let's take a step back, because like it's really easy to just like get caught in all of it and just work with no real like. You got no energy left.
No, you have to have a balance. That's something we're learning now. It's like I'm spending 60 hours a week on the business stuff. Like it's like I'll go home and my brain is still running on the business stuff, just running, and then my girlfriend's like, "Why aren't you talking to me?" And I'm like, "Yo, I probably should get this out of my mind." Focus on life for a second.
And then it doesn't leave my brain until about 9 o'clock the next day, and then I'm right back here.
Yeah. So we really like, we really just took like a few weeks and just tried to knock everything out. Like we took 5 songs and we're like, what does this song need? What does this song need? What does this song need? And just knocked them out as we could. And we're still kind of finishing it up now, but we're at a point where like that could be knocked out in a day. So this year is like, we didn't release a lot last year.
So 2025 is your year, huh?
Sure.
We've said that every year.
Yeah, you know.
Don't we all?
No, 2026. I swear to God, it's
2026.
We're just moving in silence, is all.
We're also just trying to build up a vault.
Yeah,
and
that's
like
very important.
Have everything done. So when it's like August rolls around and we're like, we need a drop, we have the song, the pictures, the artwork, the video, all that shit just done. So like we can keep moving forward and not just stop everything to make sure this drop happens.
That's one of the big things we're working on too, is one of the main stalling points that we've run into business-wise is content production. And we, honestly, these last couple weeks...
So normally on the radio we do like a live week and then a discovery week. So live week, obviously live segments, discovery week, playing as much music as possible. The last 3 weeks we did 3 discovery weeks in a row, so that we made some short form videos for Girl Cologne, we did a podcast with Girl Cologne, we did an interview with Janari Komet.
Janari's the fucking
man. I love Janari so much. That bro is an absolute killer.
We have a song ready to drop with him too. We just have to figure out what's going on with that. He's the man.
He's great.
He's the man.
He's the hardest working musician in this city, I swear to God.
Yeah.
The dude's doing fucking 10 shows a week.
Yeah.
And one he's on drums, one he's rapping, one he's singing, one
like at that James Begin show,
bass.
he literally was in I think except for one, every one of the bands doing a different instrument.
Except for ours.
Yeah, and then on the one on yours, even on yours, he was still running around helping everyone else.
And I hope to get him. We have a song we made with him, so like hopefully next show we do, he can fucking like. Yeah,
heck yeah,
dude's incredible.
No, man is incredible. I'd love to have him on for a podcast. He made that concept album. That was the other side was definitely a concept album.
The other side's the shit.
That was insane. I want to eventually talk to him about it. We've been in some talks about some projects we want to work on, but I've always wanted to shoot a short film based around an album. And then I listened to Janari Komet's album, and I was like, this is the most cinematic album I've heard in a long time. So I'm definitely talking to him about that. Another cool thing I'd definitely be interested in doing it with you guys too, is recording your guys' sets, but in a different way. So instead of the audience perspective, it's your guys' perspective. So capture your emotions before, during, and after your guys' sets, to make the relatability factor as high as possible.
That's cool.
That's something we're.
It's an interesting idea, because you only ever really see it from an audience perspective.
Like one of the main things you see is just like set coverage. You never really get like the adrenaline, the emotion before you go on stage.
Even the bore of just sitting back there just waiting.
Or just seeing people smiling faces.
Literally, when they pass by each other, say hi to like, oh yeah.
Even just during a performance, I look at someone, they're like looking at me like, you're killing it. Like, you know, like we had the one show, we opened for Devin the Dude. And there was just this, and that's like an older crowd. And there was this one lady, it was like there was a lot of people, everyone was high as fuck. Though I could barely breathe up there. And there was just this one lady that in between songs was just like, okay. And I was like, that lady pushed me through the set. She made me, okay, I see you. And I was just like, I love you so much.
It makes a difference. The biggest difference.
Yeah, it's just, you know, like, and I don't think anybody could really like understand how much that could do for me, because I'm up there just like. I'm up there just like backwood hitting my face, fucking Swisher Sweet hitting my face, and I'm like, I can't breathe up here. But you got one person being like, there you go, and I'm just like, okay, we gotta finish this.
I don't need oxygen.
Yeah. One other aspect too is like, we've been trying to figure out ways to showcase this, because I do, when I can, like have on our sample-based tracks, chop live.
That's so cool.
Because it's like, the philosophy I guess we've approached live is, we've been to a lot of hip-hop shows. There's a lot of guys that just go up, they have a laptop or a USB drive, and they're hitting the space bar on their laptop and playing the next song. And not only that, but they're rapping over their master vocals. They're not even doing the instrumentals. Sometimes they're just ad-libbing their songs. And I just feel like I don't want to pay money to see someone perform karaoke. I want to see it done live.
Yeah.
It's definitely difficult coming from our either it being electronic kind of parts of the beats or sample based. Like, it can be difficult to perform all of it, but well,
that's
the aspect of live, like, because there's been times where I've just hit play on a song like a DJ would, and I'm like, what do I do with my hands, or like, what do I do? So any way to keep myself busy.
What do I do with my hands? I don't know what to do with my hands. Yellow dude with hands up.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, I'm not the hype man, I'll tell you that.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Right, the G.L.M.C.
I think one of the best things about your live performances, like I was telling you guys earlier, you guys pulled me back into the genre. I didn't get to go to the show that Ben got video coverage of you in, but like when I was sitting down editing and going through the footage, I was with Ben, and I was like, Ben, who are these people? And that was my introduction to you guys, was a captivating live performance.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Insanely was. I don't know. I just felt like I had to watch it. I would go through it and then just go back to it just to watch your performance again.
It's the same aspect as live instruments. You're so intrigued with, like, the live rock scene is and has always been larger than the live hip hop scene, and a big portion of that is because they're playing all their instruments live. They're taking a real necessary skill.
It's more of a show.
Yeah, it's more of a show. And then when you guys do that and you bring everything on stage and you're pacing the entire stage, focusing on every different audience member. Big ass TVs. And he's over there actually you can see him working. It's a completely different show than if you were to just do a space bar and stand in one place and rap show.
And one thing I did that show that I actually noticed a difference was, and I felt like, damn, I should have been doing this forever, but at one point in the show I was like, hey, by the way, my man over here, Astral Housefly, is doing the beats live. And after I said that, I was looking out in the crowd and I saw people. I'm normally used to people looking at me, and I saw people looking at him.
Yeah.
And that was like, not only is that like a fucking weight lifted off to my shoulders, because I'm like, damn, I'm not like a zoo animal. But like, I saw people looking at him, and I'm like, fuck yeah, like they're like recognizing what he does. Like he said, we had the idea of like having a camera pointed down, like, that he could switch to and like show them like that he's like live doing the chops.
That's a good idea.
Or even the drums on a song.
Yeah.
Or like,
we thought about, so like I could have it timed up with the music where the camcorder shoots my beat pad, right? So I had the idea of like doing that, showing me hitting the buttons. And then another song comes up, shows me hitting the buttons for a second.
Cooking.
But then
he's cooking.
On the third time, I'm cutting up beats, like the actual
chopping beats with a knife and a cutting board.
Bro, that's a show right there.
I think even like a hot plate, and then you're like sauteing onions.
Like you're cooking.
Yeah, like
bro's cooking.
He's cooking over here, and people are just like, I didn't know they had food at Grog Shop.
That's funny. That is pretty great.
Yeah, so just a little taste of what you're gonna get in the future, man. You know, like, he's gonna cook an omelet for a crowd member, like green onions, ham, and we're gonna do a Western. He wants a Western omelet.
And then you gotta throw it at people in the crowd like that.
Like Steve Aoki. Just,
who wants an omelet?
And we're not even gonna cool it down. Just a steaming hot ass omelet, just fucking to the dome.
Hey, next
Third degree
AllTheHipe
burn.
and Astral Housefly show, omelet to the face.
Yeah, just,
Amazing.
we don't got the insurance, man. We don't have the insurance. You get an onion stuck in the nostril, man. We might be out of business.
Sneaking out cheese strips.
Last serious question. What so obviously when you start, there's a lot of struggles. You don't necessarily know 100% what you're doing or what avenue you want to go down or the people you need to talk to. What were the struggles then versus the struggles now?
That's a good question.
That's an amazing question.
You know what I find interesting is at our scale, like we're not some huge artists or anything. We don't have a fan base to disappoint, so we have freedom in that regard. Whereas like maybe people, after you make a name for yourself, they kind of expect a certain thing out of you. It becomes more restricting. I think the struggles we had before is just figuring out what we exactly wanted to do and portray. I think that was our biggest focus probably, and just making the music sound good and quality, mixing, all the boring engineering things behind the doors. But now, do you have an idea what our struggles are?
I mean, just growth beyond what we made. I mean, you're like, okay, we have like, you want to keep growing locally as we have. I mean, and that I think is just like, it's sort of like, my motto for this year is just saying yes more. Not
Fire. Yeah.
Not taking anything for granted, like
Such an easy thing to do, but it's like.
Well, I started saying no.
Exactly.
Saying no, and we started saying no to things, and I was just like, why are we saying no?
Right.
Like, where if we are we at a point where we can say no? Like,
Right.
It's like maximize your opportunity situation. Yeah.
Which easy enough, just say yes, right?
Easier said than done.
Yeah, but also just like, I could say yes to everything local, but it's not up to me outside of local to say yeah. It's like, like trying to get yeses outside of it. So I just think we're trying to expand a little bit. I mean, over the years, we've tried reaching out to people we knew outside of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And you get no's.
Yeah, no, you do. Yeah, definitely.
Get a lot of no's, or you get a lot of yeses that all of a sudden are fucking no's. So it's really just I don't know. I mean, I think persistence is key, and you're gonna get so many no's.
So many.
And I guess we shouldn't be the no. We should be the yes as much as we possibly can, but it's we're trying to spread. Like you guys are gonna, you're Great Lakes, so you're trying
literally,
you're freshwater. You guys are trying to go from what, Chicago to Buffalo to.
We're all
Yeah, so
it's quite literally Chicago, Buffalo. We're going to Toronto in June. There's a big old festival happening in Toronto.
Oh, that's sick. What's that?
I think it's the 9.
It's called 9, NXNE. It's
not the 6.
I don't think
I
so.
guess Drake is really.
Maybe they don't like him that much.
I don't
I
think
didn't
anyone
even catch that. But it's 250 artists over 4 days and 25 venues. So it's just a really big local festival. It's all underground artists too. So it's where we focus in. And they have like a couple bands from here, a couple bands from I guess all around is playing there. Truss is playing there.
Okay.
Breathe in Stereo.
Trust has been doing their thing for a while now. Yeah.
Trust is going crazy. We just went to their show Friday. We've been doing some relationship building. I've been going to a few of their shows, just talking to them, getting out there. And Hannah, have you met Hannah? She's the lead singer of Trust. Literally.
No, I've never met yet.
The nicest girl ever. Will help you out with anything as long as you help her out. And she's just like a very community building kind of person. And they do some great stuff. Like they, I don't know who's behind their marketing or what, but they keep things very cohesive and put together. They're really cool people
man.
over there too.
Yeah, no, I've been hearing the name forever, and like I've seen them. They did Bright Winter years ago.
Yeah, they did
and,
Bright Winter
man,
this year too.
This year?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
I went to Bright Winter this year, and it was our first time, like, doing an outing for the business, so, like going and filming anything ever. Bright Winter was our first one.
Janari's set at Bright Winter was fucking great.
That man, literally, I've never seen a crowd move in the cold like that. That was wild. But we met I met this artist named Michael Weber, the Michael Weber Show, and he's like Elvis, Johnny Cash type of character, and he makes these fun informational videos on guitars, and he like works in a studio or something like that. He's constantly just pumping out these crazy fun things. A very unique guy. Definitely check him out as well. Before we wrap this up, do you guys have any shout outs or any special words, some good motivation or anything?
Well,
I got one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I always think it's funny when people are like, support local artists, support local music, when it's like, that's great. The meat of that is like good, but you don't need to support local music if it sucks.
Thank you for
I'm
saying
not gonna be the one to say it.
I was about to say, on our music show, we're not gonna say it, but if an artist says it, you know.
I'm just saying.
Literally.
So give us some examples of people.
So give me 5 names.
Astral, Housefly, tell me something in Cleveland who you think
Who
sucks.
particularly sucks?
Who are you talking about? Any names?
No.
I think pretentiousness is good. It's being like it's being like bratty about it, or like what's the word I'm looking for?
Particular,
or no, just mean. Just like there's
if there's
pretension.
an ego to it.
Pretension is actually, I think, what pushes art forward. Because if you're just satisfied with basic stuff, then where are we going?
Well, it's sort of like the popular music becomes popular, or something's good, then it becomes popular, then it becomes generic, and then it becomes like fucking boring.
Lo-fi hip hop.
We kind of touched on it. We kind of touched on it earlier. It's just like, or stop, stomp, clap, hey. The hey, oh, it's just.
One of my friends was just working on a song that had some stop, clap, hey in it. It was rock though. I'm telling you, it was
this is stop, clap, hey. By the way, it's just it's just go outside of the. Go outside of the norm, man. People are looking for new at all times. For example, I love the movie Shutter Island. Make it again. It's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Make it one more time. Shutter Island 2 will be dog shit. It's gonna suck.
That's always how it goes. You can only make a sequel if the first one wasn't good. If the first one's good, leave it at the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do new stuff.
Yeah.
Be different.
I agree.
Like, not in a corny way. Just do new shit. Don't do what they're doing.
Don't be afraid to innovate.
Yeah. Don't be boring.
Amazing. Thank you guys for coming on so much.
Thanks for
having us.
Having you guys was a blast. I had a great conversation. Check us out on all social medias at freshwaterfrequency.com. Check them out at AllTheHipe, one word, HIPE, and Astral Housefly, one word. They're doing some great things right now. They're releasing a single, I believe, 18th.
The 18th,
The 18th
same day
coming
as the
up.
show.
So check that out. We will see you guys in the future. We had a great conversation. This was Great Lakes Music Collective. We appreciate you guys watching, and
see you later.
yeah, see you later.
Peace.